Here's everything you need to know about DTM 2026. DTM is Germany's premier touring car series heading into its 40th season. Despite the T in DTM referring to said touring cars, the series is running GT3 machinery from 8 different manufacturers: BMW, Porsche, Ford, Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, and Aston Martin. Despite many people's criticism of this choice, DTM remains the only GT3 series in top-class motorsport to focus on sprint racing, where instead of drivers sharing a car like in most other GT championships, every car is raced by a single driver. Races are 55 minutes each plus 1 lap. If a safety car is deployed, race directors can choose to increase the race length by up to 3 laps, like in the case of 2025's Spectacular Showdown. Weekends are split into 2 races, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, both of which have their own qualifying session the morning of the upcoming race. Where the Saturday race features 1 mandatory pit stop, Sunday's main event requires the teams and drivers to visit the pits twice. Refueling is not permitted on either day. In terms of strategy, Pirelli's new tires should throw some spice into the mix. For the first time in its GT3 era, DTM is going to receive a set of rubber specifically developed for its brand of racing. How said step is going to change the erratic, action-packed on-track product remains to be seen. This will be especially noteworthy for everybody who manages to qualify in the top 10, as they're gonna have to start on the same tires with which they set their fastest time in qualifying. Said qualifying literally pays off for those qualifying in the top 3, whereas the top 15 finishers score in races. 21 drivers are set to compete in DTM 2026, with a few famous omissions compared to last year. Ayhan Şengüven, reigning DTM champion for Manthey Porsche, is not going to race this year, focusing on his eventual Formula E debut. 3-time champion René Rast is set to take a sabbatical from the sport, roaming the world of hypercar endurance instead. 2025 championship contender Jordan Pepper will take a similar road, racing for BMW in the World Endurance Championship. This year's favorites include 2026 vice champion Lukas Auer, a man who's been chasing the crown of German tin-top racing for years. You'll recognize him in his Adidas-sponsored baby blue shoebox Mercedes AMG. His Stuttgart Stars colleagues Jules Guenot and Maro Engel were title contenders themselves last year, so all 3 should be considered candidates for the top spot. BMW's lineup includes Marco Wittmann, 2-time DTM champion, and endurance expert Kelvin van der Linde, celebrating his comeback to the series. His brother managed to clinch the crown in 2022, whereas KVDL has won virtually everything there is to win in GT3 racing, except for this championship. Mirko Bortolotti and Thomas Preining are former DTM champions themselves, having won the titles in 2023 and 2024 respectively. Bortolotti's quest revolves around getting Grassa's brand new Lamborghini Temerario up to speed, with assistance from Maximilian Paul, while Preining will try and defeat his new teammate Riccardo Feller. He managed to win a race for Land Motorsport last year, racing an old, outdated Audi GT3, potentially preparing himself for a title challenge in 2026. Manthey's duo is also set to defend the team's championship, which they managed to clinch in 2025. As far as big stars go, Timo Glock should be considered the standout name of the bunch, though his 2025 DTM comeback was a sheer and utter disaster. Maybe he'll be able to bounce back for Der Motorsport, racing alongside the team owner's son Ben, competing in this McLaren 720S. Niki Thiem could be considered another niche celebrity, not just because of his father's legacy as a DTM champion, but through his own brand of internet stardom.
Please, no Antarino, Dimmer. Yeah.
2026 is going to see the DTM debut of Matteo Cairoli, winner of the 2021 24 Hours of the Nürburgring. He's going to replace Jack Aitken at Emil Frey Racing, competing in this eye-catching BWT Ferrari. Finn Wiebelhaus, winner of the 2025 ADAC GT Masters, is racing for HRT Ford next to team leader Arjun Maini, continuing the long-standing DTM legacy of the Ford Motor Company. Marco Mappelli is a 38-year-old GT veteran, former GT World Challenge champion, and class winner of the illustrious 12 Hours of Bathurst. And finally, Bastian Boos makes the step up to DTM after he was supposed to debut for Allied Racing in 2025, only for that team to go bust pre-season. DTM 2026 is set to start on April 25th in Spielberg, Austria, one of 8 venues in 2026. Highlights include the Norris Ring, Germany's very own Pretend Monaco, the illustrious Nürburgring, or the season finale at Hockenheim in October. As is the norm in GT3 racing, DTM's cast of cars is subjected to BOP, a balance of performance. Through adjusting a car's weight, engine power, or wing angles, governing bodies can attempt to equalize everybody's theoretical on-track performance. In DTM, this is handled by SRO, an international governing body for GT racing, and the ADAC. Throughout a race weekend, BOP is continuously tweaked after qualifying and race sessions to the annoyance of quite a few teams and drivers. For instance, 5-time DTM champion Bernd Schneider expressed that he feels Mercedes AMG GT3s were terribly off-pace during the final 2 race weekends of 2025 because of BOP. This, possibly more so than the GT3 rule set itself, remains one of DTM's biggest criticisms: the fear that cars are not leveled to guarantee similar performance, but rather to artificially spice up the show. Furthermore, P1, P2, and P3 have to contend with success ballast at the following race, causing even more acrimony. The ADAC releases a bulletin ahead of every race weekend specifying the BOP for said weekend, with every follow-up tweak announced through the same platform. You can find a link to the ADAC's press outlet in the description below. DTM is free to watch live on German television, with all 8 race weekends shown on Pro7. English-speaking audiences all around the globe can enjoy the DTM YouTube channel's live streams, showing every practice, qualifying, and race uninterrupted. Quick side note, I know a lot of people complained about DTM geo-blocking the stream for US audiences last year. According to the website, this shouldn't be a problem in 2026, but I cannot guarantee that this isn't going to happen again, so VPN, maybe? If you happen to live in the United States of America, you can watch qualifyings and races on the Racer Network, though said deal is behind a paywall. And in case you're after a more abridged experience, I intend to produce race-by-race reports about DTM throughout the 2026 season. English-speaking reporting on DTM is most often found on motorsport.com, part of the International Motorsport Network, which yours truly happens to write for. Their German outlet, motorsporttotal.com, uploaded a season preview of their own, which I've linked to below.